Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, apologies for the stream shutting down, but we are back here out on track. We're about to be going green flag racing as this pace car heads into turn 3.
Yeah, and you see you got Stan Hausman sitting on the pole. So Ryan Ducombe starting second, Josh Marcy third, Jovi Sagiped in fourth, and Dylan Patterson in that number 8 Chevrolet Camaro in 5th. So going to be an exciting race. We finished up qualifying. Pace cars taking them off of Ford, Jake. It's going to be a good race. And are we going to make picks now, or are we going to wait?
We can make picks now. I think I'm going to go with the 3-car Jovi Sagiped.
You stole my pick. That's my man. I tell you what, I was talking about that 7-car. Give me Ryan Ducombe. The pace car is off. Green flag is out. Dan Hausman is jumping on it, but Ryan Ducombe's going to get the jump on the high line. He's going to have Jovi right behind him, and we're under caution already.
Big wreck in the infield already. Those cars hadn't even crossed the start-finish line. We're already under yellow flag here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Believe that was the 99 of Cody Havens that went around. We'll check that out on our first wreck replay, brought to you by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia.
Yeah, it didn't take long. I'm not sure if they were jumbled up there trying to come to green or what happened, but unfortunately for Cody Havens, he did not get the start of the night that he wanted.
No, and it might not be the start he was looking for, but again, bringing back that emphasis of having one faster pair in this series. For something like that, it really helps a driver out like Cody Havens as well as the other guys involved. Their night's not over like it is, in our Cup Series League Sunday night.
It just looks like a pretty big pile up there. I'm back watching the replay. Just that inside line didn't really get going, had that accordion effect. Guys started bouncing off of each other, and everybody just ran out of room. The 66 involved. The 11 may have skated through there, so big trouble here to start the night.
Yeah, it really is. Was a little excited to see if we might go green flag racing early on, but again, it's just an accordion effect. Guys not going, checking up on the initial start here, and some other guys further back thinking it's going green. Try to jump, get a few spots early on because it's so crucial on a restart to gain as many positions as possible. And it's just guys get run over, things like that. And unfortunately, a lot of cars here early on already got to go through a faster pair.
Yeah, you hate to see that, for the guys that were involved and having to burn that faster pair. You're thankful that you have that faster pair to fall back on, but you also know that you used it up, and so now you got to be careful because there is a long way to go in this race, and without a faster pair, you cannot make any mistakes here, Jake. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe the aggression calms down for those guys, but also on the flip side of that, these leaders now, they kind of know, hey, there's quite a few cars that caught up in that. This, maybe we can kind of force the issue, and you get one of those guys who has a faster pair in the bank forcing an issue on a guy who doesn't, and the guy who doesn't so probably feels inclined to let him go. So see how that affects the dynamic of tonight's race.
Yeah, it really will. Again, a guy that we were talking about before our stream cut out the last time, Nick Gowen in the 88 car is on the outside looking in, and lap not even onto lap 1 of this race tonight, he's already got damage. So one of those guys, I need to have some good runs for him, some good fortune. Starting this thing off in Las Vegas with some bad luck.
Yeah, and something I noticed, Jake, is there are still guys connecting to the server, so not sure exactly what's going on there. It seems to be a tough start here for this one, and it's just part of it. It's no different than having a mechanical failure in real life, or we've seen real life racers stack it up before the green flag. I mean, it happens, and so it's part of it, and these guys are going to have to get it sorted out and see if they can't get this thing going. But if you're Ryan Ducombe, Stan Hausman, some of these guys up towards the front of the field, you can kind of reset, take another deep breath, and get ready to go again. And it's a big moment here early on in this race.
Yeah, kind of wonder 39 car on that initial start kind of seemed to be a little bit asleep, even though he was the leader coming to green, and obviously that's how Ryan Ducombe was able to pass him, getting through the gears before they were even into turn 1. So it's just, again, little things like that kind of add up. Lucky enough for Stan, he was up front. He could have easily been involved in that wreck back there had he qualified around what was that, about 25th, 30th place. So it's escaping the big ones, so to speak, here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, you come into this and it's Vegas, and we talked about it. You start off and you're hoping to feel a little lucky, and unfortunately for those guys, that luck ran out pretty quickly. But I believe we're going to get the one to go signal here from our iRacing pace car, and we're going to try to get this thing started back up here. It'll be Ryan Ducombe leading us to the green this time. Stan Houseman, and you got to wonder. You kind of touched on it. If Stan Houseman maybe learned something from that initial start, and can avoid kind of getting caught up and losing that spot if he's in that position again.
Yeah, and something else to point out for this restart, we're going to have teammates lining up behind each other on this inside line of the 7 and the 3 car of Jovi and Ryan. So, we saw them work together really well at the super speedway tracks, and I would assume on a restart, they'd be able to replicate that here on a restart at Las Vegas. So.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to see teammates work together on these restarts, Jake, and even at non-super speedway tracks, because there's preferred lines, and that's something you don't necessarily see at super speedways. You can kind of get every line working there, Talladega and Daytona, but here there's going to be a preferred line. We don't know exactly what it is just yet because we haven't seen these guys get going, and it could change. I know right now we've got some serious cloud cover over the racetrack, and so that affects it. This is a sim. And the track temperature changes and things change, and it affects how these cars handle. So it'll be interesting to see where's the line going to be, and if you're not in that line, how bad does it hurt you? Because there are some tracks we go to that if you're not in that preferred groove, when those tires start falling off, you are going to the back, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right, you got it right, and here we go. Pace car is about to be diving off to the inside, and Ryan Ducombe going to lead him back to green flag racing. He's going to pull his teammate past Stan Houseman as well, so the H2K Motorsports guys pulling out. Ryan's going to have a sizable lead as they head down.
Yeah, you see Ryan Ducombe there go underneath the white line. That is not out of bounds here at Las Vegas. It's not out of bounds anywhere but Talladega and Daytona. So you're going to see guys use that to straighten out that front stretch, but it's really going to help Ryan Ducombe get a huge jump. And our 2 picks right here, Jake, 1 and 2. Number 7 and Ryan Ducombe, that's my pick. Jovi Sagipet in that 3 car right behind him. So so far so good for us. Maybe we need to take a trip to Vegas.
I know, it's it's like playing roulette. We got to watch our drivers go around and around 100 times, and hopefully our race car crosses the line first. It'd be no different than the roulette ball falling in the right number pocket. So early on, we're looking pretty smart, but anything can happen. This is a long race, but so far so good.
Yeah, hey, look, if we're at the roulette table right now, I've got blue 7, you've got black 3. I think right now we're looking pretty good, and we're going to click off lap number 7 here. Ryan Ducombe is going to lead the field off of turn number 4, and you can just see that entire pack just come thundering down the front straightaway. They're going to stay above the white line this time, and you go use that underneath that apron, and it can eat those tires up just a little bit more than you want it to. So Ryan Ducombe went down there, nobody else did, and it'll be interesting to see how that affects him in the long run. When you're that leader, Jake, you want to pull away, but you also know that if you go too hard, you're going to use your stuff up. And so Ryan Ducombe's got to balance that line here as he's going to lead them back into 3.
Yeah, you definitely do. You want to be out front. You almost got to keep that gap about the same size. That way you're not using your stuff up. But right now, man, Ryan Ducombe under attack from his teammate Jovi Sagipet. Got a great run at it too that last time by. Kind of working the top side. Just got a huge run down the back straightaway here at Vegas and was able to pull up to the back of the 7. It's kind of stabilized right now, but these 2 guys are little by little, and again, third place Joshua Marcy, another H2K Motorsports driver. So right now the top 3 all H2K. So whatever they did in practice, they definitely know what they're doing around this track.
Yeah, track position is going to be so important tonight, Jake, and so it's going to be huge for them that they're out front this early. As I'm looking back a little further in the field, we see some blocking and some different lines here, but it looks like everybody's starting to single file out on that bottom, and I'll be interested to see if we get a long run, will that line move up? But you touched on it. Jovi Sagipet's running down Ryan Ducombe. He's there now. These Xfinity cars don't have as big of a draft as the truck and the Cup cars, but there's still one there, and so that trailing car can really get an advantage when they come down the straightaways. But in the corners, it really hurts them and takes the air off the nose. But right now, Jovi is filling up Ryan Ducombe's mirror, and that's never a comfortable position to be in, especially as the leader. And here goes the move to the inside.
Yeah, Jovi going to take it to the inside of his teammate. Got to imagine Ryan, in Discord just said, hey, buddy, just go ahead. It's too early to worry about racing right now. You're a little quicker, so Jovi's going to take over the lead as they go into 3 and 4. We'll see what Jovi can do, maybe start pulling away, get a sizable lead here at Vegas. But right now, Again, our bets are locked in and loaded up front here. But like you were saying, back a little bit in the pack. We got some guys moving through the field so far. Bo Tiffany's started 14th up to 10th already. But other than that, it's kind of stabilized where these guys started the race is kind of where they're running.
Yeah, these guys are trying to get settled in, especially after you have an early wreck like that, Jake, and you're trying to get your stuff figured out. You look back, you got our points leader right now. He's sitting back in the 9th position. That's the 14 of Zachary Taylor. A couple cars in front of him is Daniel Bowdler. He's a threat week in and week out. He's sitting in 6th place. So right now the big names are kind of, right there inside that top 10 where you'd expect them to be. And, track position is going to be important because we can see already that, these guys are having to try to get creative on trying to make moves and see if they can pick up spots. Right now, Zachary Taylor is under attack, and he's probably going to lose that 9th spot to Bo Tiffany, who you were just talking about.
Yeah, Bo Tiffany seems to be coming alive here, starting to move forward. Going to be the inside of Zachary Taylor as they come off of 4. I think it probably going to advantage going to go to Bo Tiffany as they head into turn 1. I think he's going to have the preferred line down there. But Zachary Taylor's got to be, careful. There's a few cars right behind him. He could end up losing, 2 or 3 spots if he's not careful. He's going to run them real tight through 1 and 2. Some guys might not like that early on in a run. We're on lap 14 of the 100, so got to be careful with that.
Yeah, but if I know Zach Taylor, he's not going to cut him any slack at all. He wants to hold him off and keep that position. But something I've already noticed here, Jake, is our leader, Joby Saggypet and Ryan Ducombe, the 2 leaders, they've led this entire race so far. If you go watch them in 1 and 2 over here, they're running a little bit off that yellow line, and they're actually starting to move up a little bit. So already trying to find new lines and see if they can figure out the fastest way around this track. Last night in the Truck Series, we saw that top groove. You almost couldn't pass it. They're more like the middle groove. And it'd be interesting to see, if as we go on in this run, that middle high groove in 1 and 2 seems to be the place, especially for our 2 leaders. So it could be a good defensive line there to take. But right now you see Josh Marcy. He's got a mirror full of that number 8 car, and that's Dylan Patterson. And he's trying to hold on to that 3rd position and keep H2K in the top 3.
Yeah, he is. We dive back further in the field right now. Aaron Gerwitz is up to 10th place, battling the 13 of Bo Tiffany. Bo's going to get a good run off of 2, kind of clear him of Gerwitz as they head into 3. But right now, Aaron Gerwitz, I believe, is he seems to have a little bit quicker car than these 2 guys in front of him. But it just shows you how tough it is to pass, as he's really got to get out of the gas, and he's going to almost lose a position to the 89. He had to get out of the gas so he didn't hit the wall. So the 89 of Brad Williams is going to take it to the inside of Aaron Gerwitz as they head down into turn 1.
Yeah, and right now, you're starting to see some good battles develop as these tires wear off, and guys are starting to make some mistakes, maybe overcooking these corners just a little bit. But, if you're sitting at home and you're watching this and you're thinking, hey, the bottom groove is the fastest way around the track, right? It's the shortest way. That only makes sense. Well, Jake, we have variable banking here at Las Vegas, so that top groove has more banking than that bottom groove, and that's what helps them carry more speed. And I think that's why you're starting to see that middle high groove come into play here in turn 1 and 2. And that's why you see Joby Saggypet starting to walk away from the field. As you see him, he's up there in that groove, right above that first seam, and he's able to kind of cut it down on exit there, float it out to the wall, and he's just riding smooth. This is a Sunday drive for Joby.
It really is. He got around his teammate, and he's kind of pulled out to about a 3/4 of a second lead. It's kind of stabilized there. But back here, the battle for 5th, Daniel Bowdler going to clear Danny Dow out of 4. So the 6 car, he likes to be up front. He's a contender week in and week out, it seems. Daniel Bowdler trying to move forward through this field.
Yeah, Bowdler hung it really, really tight on Daniel Dow's left rear quarter panel there going into 3, and kind of forced Daniel Dow to have to enter a little higher than he wanted to. That allowed Daniel Bowdler to make the pass, and like you said, he's starting to charge. And if I'm the leader, if I'm a crew chief or spotter of that leader, I'm telling him, hey, that 6 car's coming, be ready, because when he gets ready to go to the front, he is going to get there.
Yeah, they definitely are, and I just checked all the top 5's lap times. They're all within hundredths of seconds between each other. So right now, the top 5 really just kind of laying the same laps. It's going to be tough to pass. As you see Bo Tiffany get to the rear bumper, the 14 car going to peek his nose. He's going to be the inside of Zach as they head off the 2. I believe that's Greg Olenek in front of him in that 31 Moonbrew Chevy Camaro. So got some battling all over this field. It's been an interesting race so far on lap 20.
Yeah, you see it right there, though, is even though Bo Tiffany was on the inside of Zach Taylor, Zach Taylor's going to get up in the fence there. I don't think that was too bad of a hit, but you you kind of saw it there as he come off the corner and he lost all grip, went to a four-wheel slide and slapped that door up on the fence. But as I was saying, even though he was on the inside, he wasn't able to really complete the pass up until Zach got into the wall, of course, because you're able to get that drive off on exit from that top side. So I think that'll become a defensive line as the night goes on, and these guys will just continue to kind of, if you're about to get past you, move up a group, let them have the bottom, and pinch them down, and they can't power up off the corner. But see Zach Taylor all over the back bumper of Greg Olenek, and this is a great battle back here around 7th place.
Yeah, it definitely is. Right now, this is kind of the closest racing, with multiple cars passing one another. Greg Olenek kind of seems to be struggling right now. Bo Tiffany got around him with ease. The 89 of Brad Williams going to get around him on the inside. Zachary Taylor trying to make a move to the inside down the back stretch. So this 31 car's got to figure it out right now. He moved up quite a few spots early on in this run, but however now he's starting to fall back a little bit. So we'll see what Greg Olenek can do in that Moo and Brew. Kind of for some of our viewers, usually that's a cow print with a majority of a white background. Now he's got the night cow, so to speak, play on words of the night owl for Chase Elliott. So that car is looking pretty good tonight.
Yeah, always good to see a good-looking car. And I tell you somebody who's got a really good-looking car, that's Michael Pickey. He's up to 17th. He's in the middle of the pack, but he is up 12 spots from the start of this race. And, that if you can just slowly chip away and keep picking up spots, and you kind of touched on the night owl, and that's pretty similar to the scheme he's running actually in that Hooters number 46 machine. So he's looking pretty good early on in this thing. But, we started off slow, Jake, but we're at a frenetic pace. We're talking about already a fourth of this race just about over with here as we're creeping up on lap 25. And it continues to be Jovi Sagiped showing the way around this track.
Yeah, it definitely is. Up front, it's all Jovi Sagiped ever since he took the lead from his teammate Ryan Ducombe. But yeah, we're already 25% of the way through this race, and like we're saying about Mike Lepicki, might have gained about 12 spots so far, but Mike's 6 seconds behind the leader. So these guys that are further in the back of the pack that have gained some spots are, they're really relying on a yellow to come out. I think field, if this thing does go green all the way, that's gonna be really tough, especially when we have green flag pit stops, which are gonna be in around about 19-20 laps from now.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Jake, I'm looking at Zach Taylor, who we saw get up in the fence not too long ago. Look at that. That is a gaggle of cars, I believe. Sean Griffith, our producer, caught me that one there. And you got Zach Taylor. He's got his hands full. You got to imagine that car got pretty tight after he knocked the right front of that car in, and he's just getting pressure from all sides. But so far, doing a pretty good job holding everybody off. He's staying in 11th place, and that's where he started. So he's trying to just make it to that first caution, and right now he is under fire from a lot of guys.
He definitely is. Again, Mike Lepicki not too long ago was 17th place. He's up to 15th now, trying to make a move to get into 14th place. So this 46 car is moving through the field. The 31, who we touched on, continuing to fall back. It makes you wonder if Zachary Taylor were to get that damage fixed. What he could do with a clean car.
Yeah, and you kind of see it that Zach Taylor, he seems to probably be holding these guys up a little bit, and that's allowing this gaggle, so to say, kind of get a little bit bigger. But that's you really have a logjam back there behind Zach Taylor, and you have to imagine it's just him trying to defend that position. But it continues to be Jovi Sagiped, and I've picked that guy to win about 4 times this season, and something's always happened to him, Jake, and then we come in here and I gave you first pick, and now, good, I can't say he's going to win, but he's looking pretty good early on, and that's just probably how my luck is going to go, is he'll probably get the win tonight. I couldn't pick him.
Yeah, it's that's the danger. You play when you give the other broadcaster the first pick. They can always scoop up your pick, so to speak, but obviously that means Jovi's